What's up, Beastie? Let's catch up on our week. What's up, Beasties? It's me, Triple B, your friendly neighborhood bearded book beast. Welcome back to the channel. You're looking fantastic today, Beastie. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope you had an amazing holiday season. It's time to get back to the grind, back to work. Most of you already went back to work last week after a New Year's break, maybe. But as a teacher, I've had the last 2 weeks off, and it's time to get back to it. Me and the kids are bummed. And it's always a tough transition time for me. Love my kids, adore them. I love spending time with them at home. I love having more time to do this and read. And it's just such a great stretch. And I love Christmas time. It's just all so wonderful. And it just flew by, and now it's always tough to transition back into the normal busy routines, but I love my life, love my job, so it'll be fine. But definitely gonna pour one out for another great Christmas break. But we are here to talk about what went on in the last week, give you some reading updates, some life updates, some writing updates, some channel updates, and it's going to be a fun time. And I am going to unveil the new name of this weekly segment in just a moment. So without further ado, let's get into it right now. All right, so first things first, I'm going to let you know what the name of this new segment will be. I had a great recommendation from a beastie, and they said the Beastly Weekly, and I think that rolls off the tongue so nice. But as many of you will recall or know, some of you may be new to the channel, you didn't know this, but I do have a news segment, a fantasy sci-fi news segment I used to do together with my weekly wrap-up, and it's called Beast Tea Weekly, named after you beasties, but also with TEA at the end for spilling the tea. And that is coming back starting this Friday. Every Friday will be a Beast Tea Weekly news segment, just the news. Saturday, Triple Book Mail. Sunday, the weekly wrap-up video. I'm recording this Sunday night after a lovely football game I just watched. It's very late, but after watching the Lions' victory over the Vikings, so condolences and a special shout out to two of the awesomest people I know who are also big Vikings fans, Brian from BellTube and Nick Horvath, the author of Sledge. It was a slugfest, a tough game. It was for all the marbles, the North Division, the #1 seed in the playoffs, and the Lions pulled it out. It was a great game, and I wish you gents and your team good luck in the playoffs. I have a feeling we'll probably play again in the second round because the Vikings are a very good team. So anyway, congrats to the Lions and all the Lions fans out there, if anybody watching this is one. So you're watching this on Monday, and everything's back to the usual, back to work and all that. We'll talk about all that in life wrap-ups, but here we go. I could not do Beastly Weekly because it's too close to Beast Tea Weekly, so this is the name. Are you ready? So the weekly segment where I wrap things up, the main name is going to be Briefly Beastly. Like debriefing, a brief, and we briefly talk about what went on in the past week. Briefly Beastly. And it's going to be like Briefly Beastly, weekly #1, weekly #2. So it's got that weekly in there too on the thumbnail so that people know what it is, but I like it. I feel like it fits good. Briefly Beastly. But we're beastly all the time around here. But anyway, here we go with Briefly Beastly, weekly #1. Maybe I'll take that weekly out when I say it. Briefly Beastly sounds better. But first off, let's talk about what I read this past week. So get ready to dive into the madness of my mind that is a mood reader. I have tried to be, that's what I am. I'm a mood reader. I read multiple books at a time. I read bits and pieces. I pick things up, put them down, and that's just what I do. And it works for me. And I've tried to be a stickler and be like, I'm going to read these 4 books. I'm going to make this TBR. I'm going to read these 4 books only and get through them. But I just can't. I can't tamper down the passion for books, the excitement that comes from being a mood reader and just picking up what speaks to me. And I feel like that is just what's best for me, and it works for me. And this past couple weeks on break of me doing that again has been such a fun time reading. So I'm just going to read things throughout the month. I'm going to talk about what I read, talk about what I'm going to continue to read the following week. There'll be some things I get through quick. We'll talk about it in a minute. But that's what I do as a mood reader. Some days I like to get my 100 pages in, and I feel like it's so much easier when I can just grab things and go. I might read only one book for a couple days because it's speaking to me. I might read all the books I'm reading at once in one day. I may read a couple. Like, it's just how it goes, and it works for me, and I think it's going to be fun. I did pick up a novella. This is the only novella I was reading this week. So I was reading a lot of other things, but I did start the Unlucky Evens Cursed Odds by Bill Adams, and this is awesome. I'm about halfway through it. I read half of it in one sitting, and I'll finish it up this week. But it was very cool. It's this sci-fi world that just starts off, it paints this crazy picture, lightning and darkness and post-apocalyptic feeling, and there's this lone figure who's carrying this crying baby. He's in this suit to protect him from the unsafe air from this post-apocalyptic thing, and you kind of don't know what the heck's going on, but through his internal dialogue, John, he's got a number here, John 59129. He's a Niner, and he is supposed to apparently sacrifice this baby to this lightning and this to help them all stay safe. And it's very weird and creepy and crazy, and you're like, what is happening? Don't do it, man. And then something happens, and it totally blows up everything you think you knew in those first few pages, and you see that things are not what they seem. And I cannot wait to continue to follow John and figure out what the heck is going on with the rest of this world and the story. It's very cool. Bill's awesome. I cannot wait to read his God's Blood Tragedy, and hopefully the Tinder Sword, because I really want to read that too. But this is awesome. Loving it. Going to finish this week, tell you guys what I thought about it as a whole. But novellas are awesome. Obviously a quick read, and this is very cool. You should definitely check it out. And then I've been reading my arc of The Black Mantle, the sequel to Harbinger of Justice by Andrew Watson, and this is amazing. I'm getting close to the halfway point, but it's so good. I just love it. It's awesome. It's even better than the first one, and the first one was in my top 10 of the year. If you haven't watched that yet, you should check it out. But this was in my top, or Harbinger of Justice was in my top 10, because this was incredible. Comes out in February, but I'm going to try to finish by then and get a review out. But it was so good. I'm loving it so much. It does, it's diving a lot deeper into everything I wanted for the sequel, into the main character, Rye, into the shadow that is part of him, into that magic, into the past. There's some good flashbacks, which I really wanted more of in the first book. Got them halfway through, and now this, you get a lot of it, and it's so good. It ties into the present so well. I just love how he's doing that, and this is awesome. So I'm loving it. Cannot wait to keep going with this. And then a focus this coming week that I started last week. I'm about 100 pages into Space Pew Pew by David Batterina. I'm going to be on his channel Saturday night for a co-live stream, so it'll be a Beast Friends Forever, but it's going to be on his channel, and it's going to be on streaming on his channel and mine through his technology wizardry. It's going to be cool, so that's going to be on Saturday. We'll talk about that in channel updates in a minute, but I love this. It is awesome. It's got a lot of humor and silliness, but it's also a really cool, good story. It's very like a mix of Star Wars with like Han Solo and Chewbacca, or like Firefly, just like a lot of comedy and humor with this ragtag group on a ship, and they're doing jobs and trying to make money. One of them's trying to get home. His partner is like a robot android. That's just, their banter is hilarious back and forth. They've been together for years and years, and they bicker all the time, but there's this deep love and friendship too underneath there that neither one will admit, and it's just so good. There's so much humor and pop culture stuff. Like, I'm having a blast. Cannot wait to finish it and then meet with Dave. So definitely want to finish this by that Saturday live stream. Then of course I'm still doing Demon in White, and I'm loving it. It's awesome. Just taking my time with it. It's really good. I should finish it this month at some point. I'm reading on the ebook. I keep forgetting to throw a bookmark in here so I know where I am. I'm somewhere in the middle of it, but I'm loving it. It's very good. And then, this is what happens when you're a mood reader. So I am good friends with a Bookstagrammer Book X user, Sam from Coffee and Fantasy. He's awesome. If you're on Instagram or X, you should follow him. He's such a great guy, and we talk all the time. We've been wanting to do a buddy read, and he was starting a book that I really have wanted to read for a long time, so I'm like, dude, let me dive in. And I figured I'd just read a little bit here and there throughout the month, but the last 2 or 3 days, I've just really just started devouring this book through about the first 7 chapters. So first third of the book probably, but that is Theft of Swords by Michael J. Sullivan. I have the whole trilogy of Rhaenyra Revelations. I've got some of the prequel one, and I know he's got so many books. He's got like 3 prequel trilogies before this. He's got this. He's working on a sequel one to wrap it all up. And I just cannot wait to dive into this more because this is so good. Like the humor in it, and the character writing and the action and everything together, how it works, really reminds me of Joe Abercrombie, which I love. It's not as grim dark or whatever, but it is dark. And these are some mercenaries that kind of live by a code, and they get offered this, too good to be true job that seems really easy with a huge payday where they could retire and take some time off, and they decide to do it against their better judgment, and they get sucked into this crazy conspiracy. They get framed, and they're just sucked into this adventure, and it's really good. If you love First Law, you'll love this, and if you like kind of like the buddy cop trope, you'll really love this in a fantasy setting. Royce and Hadrian are awesome. Love this so much. It's just really sucked me in. I cannot wait to keep going with it. And then I did start just a little bit, read a couple chapters of Luthien by Sam Middleton. This is the book we're reading this month for the Red Company with Alex at Scandria, Jake at Nerdlow Rising, and Chance at Chance Dillon. That we're going to be meeting in February to talk about it. So I'm just going to read a chapter or 2 here or there, get through it for the month so that we can talk about it in February. But very cool start. It's got some religious stuff. This main character here works for this religious entity, and he's got some magic to him, and he's investigating something, and so far it was very cool. He goes to investigate something. The person he talks to is none too happy with it, and there's some violence, and it is very good, and I loved it so far, so I think this is going to be an awesome read. I'm very excited about it. And look at that matchy-matchy of those beads. You see that? I know. Oh, and yeah, I'm sure you noticed. I mean, look at that. I know. I'm weird. And, of course, I'm reading still and digging Way of a Dan. I'm somewhere in the middle of this, too, but really loving it. It's so good. I love Day Raven. I love the world. I love how everything's going. I love how much darker it is than I thought it was, and how it's just so good. He's such a good writer. Philip does an amazing job with the characters, with the world building. Nothing ever seems wasted. I'm always like glued to the page on the edge of my seat, loving every second of it. I love every character he's introduced. I'm very impressed, and if I would have finished this in time, this would have been in my top 10 of 2024 for sure. I have no doubt that this book or one of the three of the trilogy will be in my top, or for 2025, or maybe the new one he's working on, the sequel trilogy. But Philip Chase is a new favorite author of mine. He was already a favorite booktuber and favorite person because he's amazing. But now he's a favorite author, and anything he comes out with, I will be buying because this is awesome. So I'm excited to finish this up and do a review on it and have Philip on the channel at the end of the month. This is fantastic. I love it. All right, and then I didn't read any comics this week. Just been focusing on Berserk, getting further and further in that, almost to a point where me and Chance wanted to get to so that we could meet again with Alex and Jake and Tom Orange to talk about it again, the next arc. So just going to keep working on that. So as far as what I'm going to do next week, I'm a mood reader, so I'm going to continue reading these, whichever one strikes me. I do really want to get Space Pew Pew done. I'll finish the novella by Bill Adams, and then just keep going through the other things, and we'll see which ones I finish up first. But graphic novel wise, I did get the third book of Saga. I've read the first two, so now I am going to read this, and I'm excited to do so. It's been too long since I've been in this world. Cannot wait to get back into it. Speaking of comics, another thing that I'm going to read for fun, my kids are really excited to see the Dog Man movie when it comes out. So we're kind of, we're going to be moving in the summer. We'll talk about that more down the road, but starting to kind of go through things, get rid of things, figure stuff out. And my son wanted to get rid of a lot of his books from when he was younger, and he has all the Dog Man books, so I decided, this sounds fun, I'll just read some of them. And it's not going to take me long there, because it's supposed to be written by a kid, like the kids that did the Captain Underpants books. So a very easy read. And it just is very interesting. It's a little dark, hidden under a light-hearted kid's story. But there's a policeman and his dog. There's an accident when they're investigating. And to save them both, the policeman guy, his head is pulverized in his brain. And then the dog's body's destroyed. So they put them together, and thus you get Dog Man. So it's very weird. I cannot wait to read it and then have that lore and that background when I go and see the movie with my kids. So I'm going to start that this week to mix things up. And then a book I'm going to be starting, I'll tell you about it, but Curse of the Mist Wraith by Janny Wirtz. A bunch of people are reading it for January. I also want to read Gallant this week first. I'm going to show that here. After I finish Bill Adams' novella, I'm going to read Gallant, and then once I'm done with that, and hopefully finish up Space Pew Pew this weekend, later in the week, I'm going to pick back up Curse of the Mist Wraith and read it a little bit throughout the month, because I'd already gotten about almost halfway through, about 10 chapters in, and I was loving it as part of a buddy read, but then put a pin in it, and I was waiting for now, so I'm going to read it, pick it back up, so I have a little time to start later into the month with everyone just starting now. I cannot wait to get back to this, and I cannot wait to read Gallant first and have a little more background in this world before I dive back into this. So looking forward to that. And then a couple of things that I might pick up this week, might start. I've been working through Rogue Lawyer. I want to finish that this month so that I can have on my good friend, Dr. L, from Novel Insights. He is a thriller reader, and we really want to. He already read this. I need to finish it so that I can have him on and we can chat about it, and just so I can have him on anyway, because he's a good friend and I'm excited to talk to him live and not just in the chats. But this is a very cool book. I'm only a few chapters in, but it's a short one, a quick read, so I want to get that done, start sprinkling that in. And then some books that I've wanted to read for a long time, and Mike over at Mike's Book Reviews, he was starting this, and there was so much interest in it. He's doing a read-along of book 1, 2, and 3 over January, February, March. So I'm going to try to read them at some point over the next 3 months with everything else I have. And that is Rise of the Ranger, book 1 of the Echo Saga by Philip Quantrill. This is something I've wanted to read for a long time. These beautiful hardcovers I'm excited to read from. I also have it on ebook, so I can kind of read it on the go when I can't get to the physical books I have. So I'm going to just start trying to read this too. I don't know. See what I said? Some of this probably seems insane to some people, but this works for me, and it makes me even more pumped to read, and I love it. So Yes, I'm going to be reading several books at once, and no judgment. This is a judgment-free zone. Eat your Oreos and enjoy my process. So look for more on that. And if you want to read that, join in on Mike's Discord. They're doing a read-along. So anyway, that's what I have going on book-wise for the past week and what I'm going to be reading this upcoming week. I'm going to keep reading Berserk too, obviously, to get caught up on that. So yeah, let's move on to channel updates. All right, so on the channel this past week, we had a fun week. Let me think back. We did a weekly wrap-up last week, and then I did a couple videos during the week. I counted up my, so I counted up all the series I was in the middle of, and I put out a video with that. So that was pretty fun to do. A little bit like mind-blowing. I mean, some of those series I put on there I had started a while ago, so it wasn't like I started all those in the last year, but they are all over 70 series I'm in the middle of, and there's a couple later on I realized I forgot about, so got a lot of catching up to do. So down the road, once I figure things out, I've got a lot of series to focus on finishing, but I'm having fun reading what I'm reading, so it's all right. But that was a fun video to make. And then I did a end of the year kind of book tag-ish video where I just had some different tags or prompts like favorite this of the year, favorite that, most disappointing this, most surprising that, most underrated, most overhyped, all those kinds of things. Did a video for that. That was a lot of fun. Then I did my top 10 of 2024, and that video has gotten so far, it's been a few days, and it's gotten the most views of any video I've put out. I've had some shorts go bigger, but that is my most watched video so far, which is exciting because I have some more end of the year yearly content in the coming weeks going. So yeah, that's going to be cool. And then I did do Triple E's book mail, of course, on Saturday, and then briefly Beastly #1 today. And then I did do one live, and that was with Jake from Nerd Level Rising, my good friend Jake. He is awesome. It was so much fun. Could have talked to him all night. We chatted for an hour and a half, over an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. And then we chatted a little bit after, and then we texted after. He's just such a great dude. So chill, so easy to talk to, and just such a nice, kind human being. One of my favorite people in general in the world, let alone on BookTube, but he's awesome. Love the Red Company, and he is a part of that, and I'm thankful for all those guys. So anytime I can talk to one of them, it's a lot of fun. So that was cool. And then, yeah, this coming week on the channel, we got this coming out today. Then I'm going to put out a top 10 indie reads of 2024. And then I said Beast Tea Weekly would be back Friday. It should be, because I also want to do my first ever annual Beasties Awards, and I was thinking of doing that Friday. So I'll have to see how that works out. If I do that Friday, I might do Beast Tea Weekly a different day or wait till next week. But either way, this week my awards show will come out at the end of the week. Look forward to that. It's going to be fancy. I have a bow tie and everything, so it should be a good time. And then I might sprinkle in some, I want to do my top novellas of the year, top comics or graphic novels, top manga volumes of the year, all that kind of stuff. List videos, but then also do my awards show on the end of the week, probably Friday. So look forward to all of that. It's going to be a fun week, as always. I only had the one live Saturday night with Dave Batterina. I don't have any other ones planned for this week, but we do have more on the docket I'll talk about next week. So that's what we got planned for the channel. Look forward to hanging out with you guys and doing all of that. Of course, we'll do questions of the day, some shorts, all that stuff too, so it'll be fun. Life updates. It was just a great break, a great New Year's week. It was just a lot of family stuff and gatherings and doing things again. I thought it'd be more laid back than Christmas week, but it was just as busy, which is fine. It was all good stuff. New Year's Eve and New Year's Day was nice. I got to be on Chance's channel for his cover reveal, Chance Dillon for his amazing looking book. Here's a picture of the cover. Stunning. It looks incredible. I'm so excited for him. His book is going to be amazing. It is available for pre-order if you want to pre-order. It's coming out in July, and I cannot wait. Very, very excited about that for sure. But I got to be on there and hang out with the Red Company and talk about just in general, chat with them, but also get to talk about his book, and that was a lot of fun. I did that on New Year's Day. New Year's Eve, we just hung out. It was nice. Hung out at home. We made some snacks and food with the kids, watched a movie, stayed up till midnight, watched the ball drop. It was a great time. And then New Year's Day was pretty chill. I got to do that, but otherwise we hung out with family. We went and saw Moana 2, which I really liked the movie. It was good. It was good. I liked the movie just as much as the first one, but I did not like the music. I don't remember one song from it. I love the music from the first Moana, so the music was a little disappointing. It didn't stick with me. I didn't leave the theater singing it like I did the first one, but the movie itself was still really good, and they left it clearly leading to another movie. So hopefully the third movie will have a better soundtrack, because the second one was, it was all right, but the movie was good. Soundtrack, yeah. Anyway, then we went to my sister-in-law's, and we had pizza and played games, and it was a lot of fun. So it was a good week. And then to end the week, just kind of got stuff done around here. We went out with some friends to this really cool restaurant where you do wine tasting first, then you go and eat, and they have really good food. So that was fun to do all that with some good friends. We had a lot of fun doing that. So yeah, that was my week. It was busy, but a lot of fun, and I'm not ready to go back to work, but it's going to happen. So it is what it is, and I'm ready for it. I'm excited to see my students and get back into the routine, because it's always hardest. You get the Sunday scaries, thinking about going back, and it's always hard after a long break. I always have a struggle with it because I just miss my kids. I'm used to seeing them all day, and now I got to send them off. I got to be away from them all day. But once you do it a couple days, you get back in the routine, and I can make it a few hours without my kids. But yeah, so excited to get back into routines and see how everybody's Christmas break went. So that's what's going on in the old life. And then writing update. So I'll put a little graphic up here. I've got kind of 3 things I'm working on right now. My main book that I've talked to you guys about, about 12,000 words into that, so not a ton, but I'll update that every week. I'm still just working through that. My prequel, I'm not sure if it's story or novella, because I want to do kind of a prequel story for each main POV in the book and how they lead into the first book, kind of like the road to that first book. So I don't know if I'll do it all as one collection, as a more of a novella, or if I'll do individual short stories and then all together in a collection, or individual novellas all together. Like, I'm not sure how I'll do it, but it's giving me a good way to flesh out the characters and have fun and flesh out the world more. So I'm only working on one of them with one of the main POVs so far, and in that I'm only about 5,000 words into, but I'll update that each week. And then I have another idea that I'm just throwing stuff at for fun because it's such a cool idea. I'm excited about it. And I'm not super far into that, only 3,000 words into that. So I'll update these every week. I'll tell you what I can right now. Just writing, trying to get routines down and writing. I did not write as nearly as much as I hoped on break. So yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. We all know how it goes, trying to figure things out. But I'm excited about what I have done and what is to come, and to share it all with you. So watching wise, I did watch the next episode of Creature Commandos by James Gunn from DC, and it's fantastic. It's got one more episode left this week. It'll wrap up the first season. Excited to see what happens. If you love DC and you love animated stuff, you should definitely check it out. It's very good, and it is canon to James Gunn's new DC, which the Superman movie is a part of. So it's very good. It's a lot of fun. And then, did I watch anything else? No. Yeah, not really. I didn't. Nope. I just did a lot of video game playing with my son. We played a lot of Madden because we were excited about Michigan, who won their bowl game against Alabama. That was a big win this past week. Watched that on New Year's Eve with my son. That was cool. But Michigan won that one. That was a big win. And with the Lions doing so well in the end of the year, we were just pumped. We played a lot of Madden together. It's very nerdy. We start a season together and make trades, and all that kind of stuff. And he's really getting into it. So that was a lot of fun to play with him and chat with him about life while we did it. I always look forward to spending that time with him. So I did a lot of that. We didn't watch as much as we hoped. We wanted to watch all these movies and shows and just didn't. We watched some Christmas movies, but yeah, no, we didn't really do a ton of anything. And it was nice, actually. So yeah, that's pretty much my week, guys. That was my briefly beastly debriefing for this week. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you did this week. Let me know how your week went. Let me know what you did, what video games you played, what you watched, of course, what you read, what you're gonna read, what you did, how your life's going. Just say hi, because I love to talk to you in the comments. I respond to everyone. I love it. It's my favorite thing to do. And I love you all, beasties. So make sure you leave me a comment. But I hope you had a great weekend. Hope you're ready for the week to start off. And I look forward to all the content we're going to do this week and seeing you in the next video. And until I do, as usual, devour your TBR, be brave, be beautiful to one another, and be beastly. We'll see you, beasties.